Hi, welcome to the Flipped Classroom. Please open up your pink packet to page 48. We're doing Lesson 11, Multiplying Integers. Would you please take a minute and do this entrance task? Pause the video, please. Pause and try these problems. Okay, so please check those and verify if you got the same answer I did. If not, mark it and ask me about it tomorrow in class. So today our objective is we're going to learn how to multiply integers, and let's look at some examples here. Positive 3 times positive 2, same as it's always been. 3 groups of 2, which is 6. The next one, negative 3 times negative 2, that happens to be when you have a negative times a negative that is also a positive. In the next example, negative 3 times positive 2. You can think of that as 2 groups of negative 3's. And then this final one, this would be 3 groups of negative 2's, which is negative 6. Let's move on. Okay, so we had those examples, and now we can write our rules for multiplying. So when you're multiplying integers with the same sign, you multiply and the sign is positive. Different signs, you multiply and the answer is negative. That is actually how easy it is. It's that simple. Same sign, answer positive. Different signs, answer negative. The multiplication property of 0 just says if you have any number, we'll just call that n, times 0 equals 0. So n stands for any number at all. The identity property of multiplication, or the multiplicative identity, is the multiplicative identity is 1. So we say any number times 1 is the original number. So therefore, the multiplicative identity is 1. And then we have the inverse property of multiplication, or the multiplicative inverse. And that would be any number multiplied by its reciprocal equals 1. So we can write that with algebra like that. And of course I can show that to you because that would be which equals n over n, which equals 1. Moving on, turn the page. Here are several examples, and remember, maybe at the top of the page, we'll just do this. Same sign leads to a positive. Different signs leads to a negative. So the very first one, any number times 0 is 0. The next one, 7 times 3, just 21, as you know. Third one, We have a positive times a negative, so you're going to multiply, and the answer is negative. Number 4, the two numbers have the same sign, so the answer is going to be positive. I want you to try 5, 6, 7, 8. Pause the video and check if you have the same answer I did. Down here where we have three factors being multiplied, you can do the first two. You're going to get positive 72. Do the first two. Here we have different signs, so it's going to be negative 40. And finally out here, we have two numbers with the same sign, so our answer is going to be positive. You pause, do 12 and 13, please. Okay, and verify that you got the answer I did. And if not, you're going to ask me in class. Moving on. Find the multiplicative inverse. And remember, the multiplicative inverse is the reciprocal. So we have 1/3. If your original number is negative, your reciprocal will be negative. You do 18 through 22. I'm going to pause. Double check and verify that you got the same answer I did. Now, when you multiply more than two signed numbers, you can follow another rule. And this is actually very, very helpful when you get to high school. So it's good to practice it now. If there is an even amount of negative factors, then the product is positive. And of course, we found that in our examples, our simple examples. Both of those have an even amount of negatives. That is 2, that is 0. 0 is an even number. If there's an odd amount of negative factors, then the product is negative. And of course, we found that in our original examples. 1 negative, 1 negative. On to the next page. For number 3 and 4, they just want to know the sign. So I'm going to count here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 negatives. That means my answer is going to be positive. And over here I have 3 negatives. So my answer is going to be, it's an odd amount. So my answer is going to be negative. We're going to skip the next part because, okay, what's the multiplicative identity? In every single case, it's 1. I'm going to let you do 28 through 31 on your own, and I'm going to check them tomorrow in class to make sure that you did them. Here's another interesting fact. When you multiply a number by -1, the product is the opposite of the original number. This is very helpful. So down here, this is the last part of the notes. We're going to do 5 and 6 together. You're going to do 7 and 8 on your own. I'm going to check them in class tomorrow. Number 5, A times C, take away B. So you're going to substitute in A, C, take away B. And then you're going to follow order of operations. Numbers have different signs. That's negative. So we have negative 24. Keep, change, change. That's going to be negative 19. Then over here we have A times C again. plus b. So it's plus -5. So that's -24 plus -5 is -29. So you try the next two on your own. If you need to reverse the video, go ahead. I'll see you tomorrow in class. Bye.